Hmm.
Now, how to build a successful hotel brand. See, as we have discussed in brief, the key to branding is to have a very, very distinct and unique propositions which defines a brand, right? And that has to appeal to our target audience. Now, it is very important for you to be very, very clear on who your target audience is. Suppose your target audience is somebody who wants to stay with you for a very, very long time. So then service departments would really be handy, which is a part of many, many hotels now. But some guests only come for leisure. They come for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and they do sightseeing and just move out of the property. So they come only for vacations or holidays. So your property should have all those needs to be fulfilled for that kind of audience. So that is why it is very, very important to know which market, which target audience we're tapping, and what are the unique things which you are providing to that particular targeted audience, whether it is leisure, whether it is long staying guest, or even a guest who is actually coming for business. So all those facilities should be catering to those respected target audience, category wise. So that is very, very important.
Okay.
The importance of branding in your hospitality business. Now, in the competitive hospitality industry, setting your brand apart, to establish a firm customer base, independently owned hotels as well as chains. You can position your hotel, motel, or your property as and how it is. When you brand it, on a daily basis, or you brand it amongst various tools, then your customer registers you. He remembers you the next time they need to book, or they may need to make a reservation. But if you're not in the recall list of your customer, your target audience, which you have already defined, then it is very difficult to get him and book with you. By making smart choices about the item type, branding method, monetary expenditures, you can find a branding strategy that makes your hospitality company memorable. So, when I say this line, it means that when you're trying to tap your target audience, you need to reach out through various tools based on your internal budgeting of marketing plans, which you need to do with your teams internally, and create a system, a very, very consistent system, wherein you are able to tap that audience on various formats he is using. But it is a possibility that your company does not have huge budgets. But don't be worried about it. Don't get into any anxiety. There is a way to tap even with small budgets. So as we go deeper into this study, we will understand how to do that.
Yeah.
So just to touch again, as to what your style is, what your brand is, what is the target audience, what is your target audience wanting out of you, what are the things he likes which you're providing him, what is your service style, what is your identity, how do you want to position it. This is something which your management and your teams have to collectively. It is actually defined by the management, and then the teams actually suggest how they have to take it on a longer vision, actually fulfilling the mission and the vision. So it is very, very important to have a clear guidelines as to who is a target audience, which area you are tapping, and what tools you can use based on the budgeting which you do internally. So your brand should stand on its own, as I said. So when you say that your brand stands on its own, the reason why one says that is that if any customer is closing their eyes and talking about you, they should be able to come up with one or two points about you, one or two identification marks about you. For example, if we close our eyes and talk about Marriott, we know that they are into the wedding segment, and they have a concept like Shadi by Marriott, new concepts like staycation. So these are something which they talk aloud in all their studies, in all their internal communication, in all their external communication, through all their collaterals. So it is very important to create a unique story about your brand. Do you want to be very, very emotionally connected with your customer? Then you need to do 10 different things when he walks into your hotel and till he stays with you and leaves your property. So it is very, very important to have those clear guidelines so that your training modules are aligned with it. So connect with your users on an emotional way, because that is very important. That's a major hook, because he will remember you. And any hotel or any property which does connect, which is not emotional, it does not get any engagement with that user. So therefore, he is open to try new properties the next time. But if there is a person who is loyal to Marriott or Hyatt, there is a reason behind it. Of course, the privilege card process is a hook for him, but at the same time, when he walks into the property, he's acknowledged, he's addressed by his first name. So that emotional touch is very, very important for any property, whether it is small or big. So create that environment which is interesting, which is engaging, because that defines your brand as well.
Means it should be based on the story of your own brand. So you may have been a heritage hotel, you may be in a cultural hotel, you may be a business hotel with the elegance, or so it basically it will your brand story should be aligning with the design perspective, also the service standards, and should be enabled to make an emotional connect with your customers. That I understand is the gist
Yeah,
of
so it's
this
not
discussion.
yeah, so it's not just brand style, it's a brand personality, you can say, because who am I as a
Mm,
property? You know,
mm,
so that is a brand personality. So that definitely talks about the brand story. So in a way, these are different lingos, but it talks about the same thing in various ways you want to express. So brand personality is very, very important, because who am I?
mhm,
You know, whether it is a business hotel, or even in a business hotel I'm talking to leisure hotel leisure customers, but then leisure customer also, how am I talking? Am I
mm,
getting into the space, getting more friendlier with them, doing a lot of things for their kids so that the couple is free to do a set of things? So all those things have to be aligned, first of all done on your drawing board, and then once you do it on the drawing board, you have to actually do it practically, because you have to come up with plans which are aligning with your paperwork. So once
yeah.
you have defined, you know what are the points you want to do and you want to capture, and then you make programs to deal with it, right? So it's not just on paper, then it is on the real playground also. The real thing is visible in the property.